Today I compares two IT jobs. Two IT job is a web designer and game designer. Web designer is the person who makes the web display design, like a web that we commonly hear, that is facebook.com. The design on the social media site is the work of the designer, as we see Facebook on the porch has a blue header and the notice that are on the right side and the search menu on the left side. At the bottom of the header there is a timeline, and on the right there is a messenger menu. Like that web designer work. Software commonly used to create a web design is the most familiar to us is Photoshop and the Corel Draw, where this software is used to load the logo on the web display heading, body display, and other like that. Game designer is the person who makes the look of the character, the view of the place that excited in the game, as we see in some game, for example Battlefield or Assassin's Creed. Character display on Battlefield using war theme, making war character made by game designer, and on Assassin's Creed using assassin character, and in Battlefield the place where the game look like a war area that contains lot of empty house and white field for battle, and in Assassin's Creed using a backdrop place in an ancient city town, as that is the example of the game designer work. Software commonly used to create a game design is Unity. Unity is a game software development, and Unreal Engine software similar like Unity, and Corel Draw and Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator and other software that I mentioned was used commonly in the hearing by some people. Unreal Engine software and Unity software that is dedicated to make game, which is where the software support the manufacture of game with high graphic. So the difference between a web designer and a game designer is that a web designer works to create a design view on the web, display menu, body, and other look, and the game designer works to create character, backgrounds, and place in games. If a web designer compares to a game designer, the game designer is much harder to get a web designer, because the web designer makes just a still view or pop out or else, and the game designer create a 3D view and create a holistic motion on the image and makes the image as real as possible. Game designer is harder than web designer because game designer make a 3D design and make a softly movement on the 3D character in the game and make a realistic graphic on the game. Web designer is more profitable than game designer because more companies need web designer for manage web in companies, and for game designer the number of game companies is very few, only exists in some countries, so it is more difficult to get a job in this field. If you want to work or choose a design job, I suggest you choosing a web design because it's easier and many companies need it. Thank you for watching video.